Well, it's the 1st of August 2021. It's 9:01 in the AM. We're just leaving our camp spot for the night, and we're heading for Julia Creek, which is 127 kilometres away. A bit of fun yesterday afternoon. I pulled up and it was quite warm, and the idea was to watch the football. So got the Jenny running, got the air conditioner going, and settled in and was doing some work on the computer and watching the football. And then all of a sudden, because I'm working on the computer and it's inside, the keyboard's not lit up on the computer. Sometimes it gets a bit dark to see what's going on, so all of a sudden the lights came on. Now they'd been on, but I hadn't noticed them go off. I popped on and I thought, that's interesting. Anyway, I thought nothing more of it. I don't know, my imagination, because my imagination does that occasionally. Anyway, a bit later on, the lights went out again, and I thought, wait a minute, that's 12 volt, what's going on here? Then I checked the water, no pump. And I had a look up at the satellite box, no light, and I thought, oh shit, what's going on here? So I grabbed out I went out and had a look under in the front boot of the caravan, which is where all the electronic stuff is hidden. And a couple of things didn't look right. A couple of lights were flashing, and I thought, what the hell is going on here? So I went and grabbed a little booklet, and then went out and I did the regulator check, the self-check thing that happens, and it all settled down pretty well, but the temperature inside the thing was 47 degrees centigrade, and I'm wondering whether or not it just got too hot and the system shut down. I thought, well, hang on, I'll just leave the boot open, let the air circulate. So that's what I did, and yep, the lights going back on again, and I had no more problems with them. That's the first time I've ever had that happen. And I was expecting maybe that I was going to be sitting there with absolutely nothing. No lights, nothing for the I didn't know whether it affected the inverter or not, just purely because of the fact at the time the generator was running and that was charging up as well. And whether it overcharged, that's another problem, because of the fact I was running a generator. I was running the charger as well, and whether something there whacked off. But it looked as though the batteries were up to 15 volts at one point in time. That's crazy. You charge at 14.4 and the battery's maximum is about 13.6, 13.7. So yeah. Anyway, we got around it. I don't know what we did, or whether what we did was what solved the problem, or whether it was just purely a matter of opening the boot and cooling it down, but interesting times. Then of course the Eagles played like a mob of school kids. They were hopeless, absolutely hopeless. So I wasn't a happy chappy there for a little while, but that's life. It's already starting to warm up out there. Thank you to Amity Motors for sorting out the air conditioner. Well, for finding what the problem was, put it that way. And then fixing it, of course. Now, I've been talking about these plains being Mitchell grass. It doesn't look any different to what grass has in the past in these areas. But I read yesterday that in actual fact they call it Flinders grass. Well, certainly in this area anyways. So I didn't think to look up to find out what was the difference between Mitchell grass and Flinders grass, but whatever. It's all bloody grass, it's all long. As long as they keep it short, it means if you have to go off-road to overtake anything or have something go the other way, at least you can see what you're about to hit or fall into, which is not the case if they don't mow it. And on the single roads, it can be a bit worrying when you pull off the bitumen onto what is, yeah, it's a graded strip when they grade it, and therefore should be relatively safe to run on, but you just don't know. Queensland set up these stopping bays on a regular basis along the road. There's not long distances between them, but it does give you an opportunity to pull off the road if you need to. And it's not a matter of pulling off the bitumen onto a rough gravel edge with edges on the road that can create problems in themselves. The tyres, it's actually a little bitumen width of the road that you can pull onto, do your necessary, and then move on again. And I think the West Australian side of things could do well to learn from that and do something similar. We have long stretches of road, and we have problems with fatigue, and a lot of the pull-off areas they're pretty ordinary to get onto or off of. They put a rest area on the side of a bloody hill, for goodness sake. I mean, heavens, if you're going to do rest areas, put them on flat ground. There's a lot of caravanners on the road these days, and if they're going to have a rest, if they need to jump in and have a bit of a snooze, get themselves back in the gear again, then ideally you'd like the caravan or the RV or whatever it is to be relatively flat. I don't know who the people are who dream up where these places are going to go, but they have absolutely no idea. As soon as you get into an area where there's a creek or a floodway or whatever it is, straight away you get trees. So we have just entered the McKinley Shire. McKinley's on the other road down between Cloncurry and Winton. That's where the pub from Crocodile Dundee is located. So I've been talking a little bit in the past about one thing and another. Then I realised that the batteries had gone flat on the audio, so I don't know how much of it we got. Oh well, not to worry. There's a Shire yard back there on the left hand side, quite a large yard. It's actually in behind gates, so you just can't pull in there. I thought I'd go in there and turn around and be able to do my batteries in there, but it is a gated yard, so you don't encroach on those places. But trucks are pulling in and out, and they are bringing that stuff along here and dumping it alongside the railway line, so by the looks of things. So, and as you can see there, all the sleepers are lined up, so they are re-sleepering the railway line, definitely. Taking all the old wooden ones out and putting concrete ones in. So one of the trucks that just came out, offloading his load. Two or three trains went past last night that I know of. Yesterday and up till this morning that I'm aware of. I mean, could have gone through while I was asleep too, and I never heard them. So this is Alec Creek. There's a whole heap of cattle down in there, having a little rest down the bottom. No water in it. Cattle over there. Resting area in there that again has been seconded for keeping blue metal and stuff in. And that's an official truck parking area. Julia Creek 43. Twin Towers, about 9 kilometres out of Julia Creek. Yep, National Broadcasting, so I thought it might be. And yes, it is ABC, very strong too. There is no other radio signal in the area. So there's a rest area coming up with a driver reviver when open. Oh well. Free when open, too, what's more. Julia Creek is on a channel system of some sort, or a channel country type thing. And there's a free camp area in the middle of it. Now I missed this the last time I came through here. There's the turn off into the free camp area. I think it's a bit further on though at this point. So the road goes north from here. Punch Bowl Waterhole is 41 kilometres and the RV park is in there as well. So I missed it. Again I missed it. Okay. Looking at a little tower out to the right hand side. Now there's all the cars and caravans and things in the pre-camp area over the right hand side. Really well occupied. We're going to do the U-turn and go back. Go in the proper way. creek at the moment. Bits of water. When I tried to get in here last time, I went in from the town end, and oh, what a rigmarole trying to find my way into the place. I think I ended up driving along a walking track. That's by Waterholes, 41 kilometres that way. Okay, so there are camp posts here. Well, I'm just driving around having a look. There's a lot more water in it than what there was when I was here last time, that's for sure. I'm not stopping, I'm just looking around and going out again. Well, there's plenty of room here. Everybody's sort of camped around the billabong. When I came here last time, I drove up and I drove around, and there was a kangaroo on the side of the road laying down, and I thought that looked strange. He wasn't moving and people weren't taking any notice of him, so I drove past. It became obvious that the animal was injured, and so I went and I caught up with the local policeman. It was a Saturday. They're trying to find someone. It was almost impossible. The policeman came out, it was just over there, he actually shot it just here, put it out of its misery. I couldn't believe that people would let this thing suffer like that. G'day. How are you?
Good.
Warning, a freshwater crocodile has been seen in this area. So I can get water just over here. So that's us now filled with water. He said, "You're driving to Cloncurry." I said, no mate, I'm going up Wills Road and then back down the Burke Road to Cloncurry. He said, yeah, he said, through the creek beds. He said the road is bloody awful. So there you go. So that's the Julia Creek RV camp. He said what's here at the moment is just the dregs. He said they've all left. They said the place was pretty much chockers. He said they'll start again this afternoon, which of course they will. He's only been there since Thursday as the camp host. Be there for about 3 weeks, he reckons, and he reckons the season will die down and that'll be it. Don't know whether it will or not. Okay, into Julia Creek. But that is the first sign we've seen of crocodiles, because we're getting up into their territory now. And of course Julia Creek's probably the first where we've actually had water, other than at Richmond, of course. Another one of those small windmills. Julia Creek does have a caravan park. Hotel. I don't know how the caravan park would get on with the idea of the RV park being there, but the RV park of course doesn't consume things like electricity, and certainly you can't hook up to water. You can fill your thing with water, but you can't hook onto it as a supply while you're camped there. These canopies down the main street, that's what they're working on in Hewenden. Some grocer over the road, there's the supermarket on this side, both of them open. Coffee shop and snack bar. We just might partake. Well, it was set up as a cafe, but it's for sale and it's closed, of course. So we didn't partake after all. Julia Creek water tower. So we've fueled up. Had a bacon and egg sandwich, toasted, and a mochaccino. We'll take another run back down the street. So it's a scene that, in this case, that the Puma Roadhouse is the local cafe. Kitchen all going there and all the rest of it, all good. future. Cafe is there, but it's closed. There's the school. Okay, so we'll head back uptown and then we'll be on our way, I think. Somehow the place looks different to what I saw in 2013. Information centre around to the left. There should be a pub down on the corner, and there is. Okay. Information centre, looks like as always on a Sunday it's closed. There's a few caravans parked up outside the pub. And the police station is around to the left, that's right. Yes, there he is over there. Back in the days of the Red X trial, they apparently talked very much about the road between Julia Creek and Cloncurry and Mount Isa, and what a car killer they were back then. And the roads then weren't bitumenised, they were dirt roads. Well, they're not much better now, I tell you. Coffee shop and snack bar, that's the one that's closed. Left hand side, ambulance. Country Club. Puma service station on the right, and we're out of town. Farewell from Julia Creek. So one has to worry or wonder what the airstrip is like out here. If this road's like this and it's built on this sort of soil, what's the airstrip like? Birkenwells Junction, Normanton to the right, so we don't go in that road, we go up the next one. Right there. It's 235 from here to Birkenwells Junction, and then we turn around and we head back down to Cloncurry. Why? Because we can. We haven't done this road before. It's got to be added to the CV. That's this little bit here, looks alright. I don't know how long it's going to last for. Yeah, I didn't think it'd last long. Ah well. About 3 or 4 kilometres, I think. Something like that. So they've got a shooting range just up here on the, I assume it's the right hand side. There's a flagpole or something there. It's actually all light. Yeah, the Jolly Creek shooting range. You can see the bank they shoot into at the back of it. Yeah, the road widens out at this point in time. No signage to say so, but this is our piece of road which is an overtaking opportunity. As I think I've mentioned many times before, you never see or meet anyone on the road that is an overtaking opportunity. But as soon as you get back onto the single bit of road again, you'll meet someone. Usually a bloody big semi-trailer. That's the way it goes. Now that's interesting, I haven't seen one of those before. Weather thing. Now, this overtaking opportunity they have done with the white lines, and I don't really anticipate I'm going to see a lot of traffic on this road at all, really. I think that most of the tourist traffic will actually be going down to yeah, down to the main road anyway. Cloncurry is the word that I was thinking of. Cloncurry. Never remember it. I've got to go through every C word of my vocabulary before I can find it. Croydon. Well, there's stuff growing on the side of the road, and all of a sudden it's tall. It's pretty much, I suppose, where the tumbleweeds come from. I don't know. Land's End was the name of the property on the left. Do we put it down to a Sunday and that everybody's at church, which is why there's no one on the road, or is it just that this is a road that is not travelled all that often, certainly by the tourists? We haven't heard anything, or very little chatter on the UHF. I think that was a private chat thing on a property somewhere. Uneven surface, next 5 kilometres. Now there's trees on the left. There's all the greenery on it, and the trees on the right don't. There's been a fire through there or something. Interesting. Doesn't look like there's been a fire through there. So communications mast of some sort. It's sort of almost like a repeater station. It's got the 2 little dishes right up on top. Okay, so the next overtaking opportunity is 21 kilometres ahead, so obviously this road gets used a lot. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So we're about 60k up the road now. Roadside looks a little different. The tops of the bushes are brown. Now whether that's dirt, dust and that sort of thing, which tends to be usually close to the road because it's not that way further in off the road. Apart from I think one vehicle going the other way, which was a four-wheel drive, we haven't seen another vehicle. And the road is not bad. Certainly not compared to the main road anyway, at this point, I hasten to add. The value of headlights. There's a heat haze coming up off the bit of bitumen in front of us, and all of a sudden I see this light starting to flash through it, and sure enough, the vehicle coming towards us with its lights on. Makes it so easy. G'day, you on channel? You on channel? The caravan that just went past? It's a pity. I think that, I mean, I've been guilty of it as well. You've got your radio on, you've got it turned down for whatever reason, or turned off, or you haven't thought about it, or else you're on a different channel altogether, I suppose. But you're running these areas, most likely going to be running into other trucks and things, so surely you'd run with channel 40 running, or maybe even 18. I didn't check that one, but get some intel about the road ahead, or the conditions ahead, or whatever. I mentioned I hadn't seen anybody, and now we've got two cars in a row. So a sale yard complex, or certainly where they bring the cattle into to be trucked away. There's some in the yards over there at the moment. Now we're on a bit of Keepy Road. The road goes up to the right here. The Eater Plains Road, I think it was called. Carriage. Well, I'll be. If you enjoyed this video, there's over 200 more just like it on this channel. Subscribe and hit the notification bell and we'll let you know when our next video is available. If you liked this video, hit the like button. And if you weren't that impressed, please don't hit the dislike button. Instead, tell us why, so that we can do something about it. Thanks for watching.